So yesterday we left off with what's the most effective way to eliminate a fire, and of course we know that we need to remove the oxygen. So let's talk about what should never be used for a fire, especially a grease fire. We know that water and oil do not mix. Add heat to that and they definitely do not mix. If we do have a fire in a pan, if we add water, we're just going to create a much larger fire. So we never want fire to be involved. If a fire should occur, what procedures should be followed? First of all, I just need everyone to remain calm. While I say that we've not had any major fires, we've had some small fires before. And the first thing that we just need to do is we just need to remain calm. When we all remain calm, we're better able to deal with this scenario. After that, you need to try and extinguish it if possible. That means grabbing that pan, putting it on top, turning the flame off, removing the oxygen, not getting it around water. You need to do that first. Our kitchen is rather large, and the fire may be over on this side of the kitchen and I'm over on the other side. So you have to be the one to deal with that scenario first. So try to remain calm. You extinguish it if possible. The next thing, if the fire becomes too much for us to handle, then I need you to be listening for instruction. Okay, instead of yelling around the classroom or around the kitchen, I need you to start listening for instruction, because if I need to ask for the fire extinguisher, or maybe I need to give us instructions about moving away from the kitchen, you need to be able to hear me. And the last thing, if it becomes way too far out of our control, we're going to evacuate if necessary. So remain calm, extinguish if possible, listen for instructions, and evacuate the premises if necessary. Cleaning supplies, things like rags, brooms, chemicals, squeegees, anything related to cleaning is going to be in the laundry room. We want to keep all of our chemical stuff, any of our cleaning stuff, away from all of our food sources. And so we've got a whole room designated just for that. Anything cleaning supplies is located in the laundry room. All right, wash and sanitizer buckets are located. We do have buckets that help us to clean our stations in the process. That way we can clean as we go. That'll be something that you do as soon as you go in the kitchen. You wash your hands, you grab your chemical buckets, and you take those back to your station. All of those are going to be located above the meat washing sink. If you want to go back and watch that video of the orientation of the kitchen, when I introduced you over to that meat sink, you'll see above it there is a shelf, and all of our buckets are located there. At the end of each lab, when discarding wash and sanitizer buckets, the solution should be disposed. It says in the first compartment sink of the manual dishwashing. So we talked yesterday about there being the four compartments. When I'm washing a dish in the second sink, that's clean water. When I'm rinsing it in clean water, we don't want to put dirty water there. And sanitizing, that is also a clean environment. So the only place where we have the option to put dirty stuff is in that first compartment sink where we're scraping and soaking and all of that stuff. So any remaining water at the end of the day from cleaning up our tables needs to go in that first compartment, because that's where all of our dirty stuff has been. Okay. True or false? It is okay to run in the kitchen as long as food is not being cooked. False. Please, under no circumstances, run in the kitchen. What should you do in the scenario where excess water builds up on the floor? Unlike at home, where you don't want any water on your floor just to not cause any harm, our kitchen floors can get exceptionally wet depending on what it is that we're doing. It's meant to. They are meant to. They're very hardy, very sturdy floors. When we clean them, we bring out a hose pipe, okay? Something that you definitely don't do at home. But we don't want excess water building up, and so just like you would squeegee the outside of a window, we've got squeegees specifically for the floor. On the floor, we have these drains. We just want to bring that water to the drain and allow the water to go down the drain, okay? This happens especially in the dishwashing area. If you cannot reach something in the kitchen, what should you do? You always need to ask for assistance. Things can be really, really high on the top shelf. Make sure that you're asking for assistance if you cannot reach something. We do have a step ladder in there if you should need to reach something on a higher shelf. What 2 things should you do when lifting something heavy? Make sure that you're using your legs. We don't want to use our backs. Our back muscles are not going to be as strong as our leg muscles are, so make sure you're using your legs. I usually order 50-pound bags of flour and sugar, and if you can't lift that on your own, you need to ask for help as you're moving things around the kitchen. If you get a cut, what should you do? We don't have them very often, but we might get some minor nicks here every once in a while. And first thing I want you to do is just wash your hands. We want to remove any harmful bacteria, especially if it's just a small nick. If it's a huge cut, we might go about it a little bit differently, but just for the purpose of a small scrape or cut, I want you to wash your hands first, get any bacteria or harmful substance away. And then we're going to apply pressure. That applying of the pressure is going to help to clot the blood. And so that's really, really important. And then tell a teacher. As I've had it happen before where students have, they've cut their finger or maybe they've burnt themselves, something of the sort, and they don't tell me. And then I come in the next day and I go to my mailbox and I check my mailbox and suddenly I've got a letter from the nurse saying that someone cut themselves in my class and I had no clue. Please don't ever feel embarrassed. We all do it. I happen to cut myself on things that are not sharp, like the side of the refrigerator door. Suddenly I've got to cut from that sometimes. So if you cut yourself on something sharp or just cut yourself in general, please tell me. I'm not going to make fun of you, not going to laugh at you, but please do let me know. That way I don't get surprised later with a notification that you've been injured in my class. First aid supplies are located in the kitchen office. You'll notice there's a first aid kit as soon as you walk in. If you happen to break glass in the kitchen, what should you do? Just tell me. I'll give you further instruction in that moment of how we need to go about that. We just don't want that glass to become a hazard to anybody else. And so just tell me and we'll go from there. Although we don't have a lot of glass in the kitchen because we don't want to run into this issue. While in the kitchen, you've been asked to work with a product you were allergic to. What should you do? Please tell me. I love each and every one of my students, but there are a lot of allergies out there, and I don't remember what everyone is allergic to. So if I've suddenly asked you to make peanut butter cookies and you are severely allergic to peanuts, well, please tell me. I'm not going to make you work with something. I will change your group for that day. Whatever needs to happen, I will make sure that you do not come into contact with something that you're allergic to. I have had one student that went to the hospital because of an allergic reaction, and it came down to just lack of communication and simple not speaking up or asking or advocating for herself prior to working with the product. So please always speak up. If you are highly allergic to something, this needs to be a conversation that you have often with people. True or false, a minor incident has occurred while in the kitchen. An adult does not need to be told. That is false. Please let me know of anything that may happen or occur. I want to be aware. And then true or false, horse playing in the kitchen, no matter how innocent, could result in the loss of kitchen privileges. Absolutely. I told you safety is one of my number one expectations. Because of this, I've never had any major issues or concerns that I have to deal with. And I would like that to proceed. So please, no horse playing. It could result in the loss of kitchen privileges, not allowing you to go in there at all to complete the lab. All right, I think that wraps it up for our safety test. Thank you.